Hello, brothers and sisters in Christ. Please check out my discount review in the description box. This story that I'm about to share with you, you can thank the Holy Spirit, because I actually want to share with you another story, but I was afraid that it'll actually scare people. It has something to do with two angels. An angel named Tekken, which relates to the popular game on Earth, Tekken, and another one concerning a Seraphim. But usually when I tell stuff like that, like, it just scares people. Like, I mean, I would tell stories like that and then it'll scare people, and then I have to delete the video because it's just like, I don't want to scare any more people. On YouTube, of course. So I'm gonna share this one. Honestly guys, I don't really have many angel videos to share. Because I don't really interact with angels anymore. I mean, I do, but rarely, because heaven, if you go to heaven, angel, Jesus, right? So it's like, I'm just like, hi and stuff, but, well, anyway, yeah, let's get started with the story. So, so, okay, so I went to heaven, and God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit were all in the dome, held together, and I just waited, because that usually means they were in a meeting, and I was to sit and wait, so I was like, okay. And then after they got done, they were like going somewhere, so I was like trying to hurry to catch them, be like, hey, like, where are you guys going? And they were like, he's like, we're gonna go to this planet. Of course, I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? And he's like, just wait here. I want you to wait here, sit on this chair, and whatever happens, take care of it. I'm like, what? No, they didn't actually leave heaven. I know you're thinking like, okay, this girl is crazy. No, they didn't actually leave heaven. The forms they have, they left. Their presence was still there. They just wanted me to take care of something. You get it? Some forms left. They were still there. They just want me to take care of something. They didn't actually leave. God didn't walk up and all his presence and everything go with him to another planet. No. I just want to clear that right now. No. No way. Of course not. So, before I get any crazy comments or anything, someone messaged me, be like, you false prophets! Like, okay. So, anyway, so he's like, just take care of everything. They were still there, but they were just out of my sight. Like, I could not see them. So I was just in a part of the dome, like the front. And, I was like, alright, cool. And then he's like, here is an angel to assist you. And I was like, alright, cool. And so they left through this portal that they just made a line with a finger, and it opened up and went through, closed, and I was just sitting there like, alright. So, there was this lady, Seraphim. She was a Seraphim, a cherub. Seraphim. She was a Seraphim. And she was like, so she was just standing there. She was beautiful. Like, she had pale white skin and big brown eyes and this curly brown hair and this beautiful robe and just beautiful. And so, and her wings, to die for. So this cherub, she said, you know, there's a problem in sector D. Was it? It was sector D or B. So, in the universe, there's, planets, and then there's space. And space is in sections. There's A, B, C, or D. This is what God told me, by the way. So she said, I forgot what she said, B or D, but I went to that section, and she also told me there was a fight, and I was like, well, not really a fight, but angels were playing around. And you know what God told me? Okay, for you charismatic believers out there, and the Holy Spirit, driven folk, because, I'm sure people are going to be like, you false prophets. Like, anyway, like, shooting stars, sometimes they are, what I believe anyway, asteroids. But what God told me was, sometimes the angels who are supposed to be watching a certain portion of space, they're actually, sometimes throw the stars at each other like this to see if they can hit other asteroids or each other. It's kind of like a snowball fight with stars. And that's what he told me sometimes. So this is what was happening at the time. So I went to section B or D. I forgot which one it was, and then I saw them, and so I was like, I said, I was kind of watching because I was enjoying it. Like, that's so cool. But then I was like, I was talking to an overseer. He was really handsome looking, like white, red hair, big eyes, buff. Angel was good looking. So I went to him and I said, aren't you supposed to be, not doing what you're doing? Like, that's exactly what I said. And he said, he didn't really say anything. He just looked at me. I said, my name is Jasmine, and God just told me to, if any problems arise, just take care of it. I'm not really sure how, but I just think that, before God gets upset or something, that you should stop, because, you're not supposed to be doing this, and, if you don't stop, of course I'm going to tell him, but like he doesn't know, but, I'm just saying. So the angel said, he's like, yeah, you're probably right. So I was like, yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'll stop. Like, are you going to do it right now? He's like, yeah. Then he laughs, and then he's like, okay, well. I waited, and he stopped, and he was just standing in an upright position like nothing happened. And it was like, okay. All right, good. So I went back to the throne room, and I was just waiting. I was skipping like around the floor. I don't know. I was just, sometimes in the day I'm just happy, like no reason. I don't know. So I'm just skipping around, and then what happened? Oh, this other angel comes. He's a Seraphim. Like, he's beautiful. He used to be one of God's worship angels, but he got placed into another position. Not because he did anything wrong. It's just that he just, I don't know why. I didn't ask him. I didn't ask God. So what happens is he walks up to the throne room, and he turns to me. This angel was this bright, like he was just bright, and 6 wings are sticking on his back, and he was just all serious looking and just buff and muscular and just really like mature, like just mature. And then he looked at me, he said, where's the Father? And then he said, what are you talking about? He's like, he does not answer my calls. And so I said, oh, well, as far as I know, like, he went to this planet. I don't know which planet, but he went to this planet. And so he said, if any problem arose, then I would, I should take care of it. I'm not really sure how to take care of it. But if you needed anything, I could probably try to help. So, he said, you just said no thank you. Then he started walking off. And then he came back, like a second later, and he just turned around, and he was like, he said, no, never mind. I'm like, what? He's like, no, I will wait for the Father. All mature and serious. Like, all right. And then he touched my head, and he's like, yeah, you're a sweet girl, or something like that. And then God showed up. No, it was like, yeah, it was God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, of course, but the Holy Spirit was also in a form. He walks about in a form. Rarely, but he does at times. And the Holy Spirit said, he looked at the angel that touched my head, and he was like, he grabbed his hand and he just kind of smacked like this Seraphim on the ground, and then he was just like, don't touch her. You know you're not supposed to touch her. Like all serious and mad, but you know. And then it was just like, really? I wasn't shocked. I was surprised. I mean, I seen God do and Jesus and the Holy Spirit do a lot of stuff that, you know, I don't really tell people about, but I wasn't really shocked. You probably would be shocked saying, like listening to me hear this. Some of you probably like, is she on crack? You know, others are probably like, cool. Others are probably like, I don't understand. Well, here's the thing. To those, you know, I don't care. I'm not a false prophet. I'm not even calling myself a prophet. And those of you who don't understand, let me explain to you, friend. So, angels have a certain position. They're not to do certain things. They don't really have many privileges that God's actual children have, even though they've been there for millions of years previous to God's children. Because it's different when you're an angel and a child. That's different. So, bottom line is, he wasn't supposed to touch his children or me or anything. What he did, you have to ask him yourself when you get there. Yeah. So he just smacked him like on his face, and he fell to the ground. And he was just lying on the ground, right? And so I'm in the throne room. I was on this podium next to God's throne, this podium thing. And God's, yeah. So, and then he was just on there, and I was like, ew, gross. And he looked like a dead fly. Like, ew, like, and then the Holy Spirit, God, and Jesus, they left again without saying anything. He's like, you're doing a good job. Just keep on going. And then, like, seriously, I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, what is this? And so I just kind of pushed the angel off the podium because I don't like insects. Like, I don't like insects. So I don't like looking at dead insects. So he looked like a dead insect by the time the Holy Spirit got done with him. So I just kind of pushed him like with my mind. I can control stuff in heaven. I pushed him. You know, just you know, and he fell off the podium onto the ground, and I was just like, you know, like, well, that's that. So shortly after, I did absolutely nothing, and then Jesus and God came back, and then they said, you know, they gave me a hug, and they said, we're proud of you. And I said, you know, like, and then I said, I need to leave anyway because I need to do the dishes before my mom got home. And that's exactly what I did. And that's the end of the angel video. Have a blessed day.